Sports Lounge. I'm your host, Michael Horn, but it's not my show. The show really belongs to a gentleman, the all-pro defensive end, the acting legend, the one and only gentleman right next to me on the screen here, the one and only Mr. Fred Dryer. Fred?
You can claim that this is your show. Maybe when I'm not here,
Well,
you could claim it's your show.
you are the man, and we're here at the year-end review of sports.
Yeah.
And this is when we really break it down. Plus, before we get to that, we should mention, and I've gotten a review, that you are excellent in the movie Bumblebee, my friend.
Who told you that?
Well, I'm telling you, a tough audience.
A 5-year-old?
Jeff Saldano's two children went to see the movie, both Luke and Lily.
Oh.
And they said, you were incredible, not up to par of your Hunter police work, but close, but not up to par. I'm not going to give away.
I wonder what that means.
Well, maybe whoever you were chasing got away. Maybe you didn't throw him off the building.
Well,
maybe you were a little sloppy in your police work. I don't know. That's for the people to check it out.
I was sloppy in my police work.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I was chasing the Super Beetle.
Well, of course.
It turned into turned into the
yes, that's what I've heard.
The wonderful Gizmo.
Yeah, and it did. And you, of course, true to you're probably one of the top police officers on screen of all time. And apparently you were a great part. And people should go see the movie Bumblebee.
Yeah,
it's going to be excellent.
It's a good, fun movie. I heard it has a lot. It's got a lot of positive feedback. The ratings were good. The box office was good for the 3-day weekend. I think it was 22 million or something.
So it was good. Were you planning on maybe taking me to the movies with you and buying a popcorn?
Not for $38.50.
Well, come on, Fred. It's your movie.
Did you know that somebody told me that? I don't know if it was Jen or somebody.
$38.50 for popcorn?
No, for a ticket to go see a movie.
I don't think it's that much.
Oh, I think it is.
I don't think it's $38.50. Maybe.
Well,
let's get your thoughts on this.
It's certainly not $6 like it used to be.
Fred, follow Fred on Twitter, Fred_Dryer, Dryer. He's on Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dryer, and you want to email him at FredDryer@crntalk.com.
Yeah, do it.
That would be the thing to do. So Bumblebee is out. That's at the theaters. Monday Night Football, an all-time low in ratings. Last
I was just looking at this here.
The year-end in football we're going to be talking about a little bit here on the show. We got lots to talk about here today, Fred.
Yeah, but it's the year-ending. There's something that's very melancholy about the ending of the year-ending sports stories.
Yeah,
and so we'll
go over them.
I don't want to say we're stuck with certain things, but it's kind of like we're trying to grab a bunch of stories and talk about them, before everything goes down the drain.
Yeah, well, you handled this really well, and I defer to you because you got your paperwork there that you and I will be able to look at. I got my paperwork also that I'm able to go ahead and use this here, and we'll be able to kind of recap last year in sports.
By the way, I know we're here in Los Angeles, but
yes.
The Dodgers probably of all of baseball made the biggest noise by that 7-player trade with Cincinnati.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that, right? That's
they've got that, and then
I don't know if that's going to be good or not for them, but
I think it will be.
You think so?
Oh, sure.
Okay, we'll get into it. That's what we're here for. Analyze that all. Don't forget, coming up in the new year, our good friends here. The show is airing on CRN Digital Talk Radio, as also on Sports Byline, and we're also going to be on XM Sirius on the weekend, so you'll be able to listen.
That's after the first of the year.
That's after the first of the year. Yeah. That'll be something.
We should talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we should. I don't know if we will, but we should.
Well, we should.
Yeah. Stay with us here. It's the Sports Lounge. Yours truly, Michael Horn, the one and only Fred Dryer.
Hugs at the arrival gate.
Hey! I missed you so much.
Seeing your best bud for the first time in a long time. Family and friends around the table. At Lincoln, we know the holidays are filled with moments like these, when we realize that the greatest wish of all is one that brings us together. In that spirit, we invite you into our home during the Lincoln Wishlist event. Where not coincidentally, we're making wishes come true with exceptional offers on the Lincoln family of luxury vehicles. The Lincoln Continental, the MKZ, the MKC, the new Nautilus, and the iconic Navigator. The Lincoln Wishlist event. Because wishes really do come true at your Lincoln dealer.
Welcome back here to the Sports Lounge. Yours truly, Michael Horn, along with Fred Dreyer. Glad to have this gentleman here. We got the year in review to take a look at. Lots of things to talk about today. We got baseball, winter meetings and stuff, too. And don't forget, coming up in the new year, starting, I believe, on the 5th of January, you'll be hearing the show on XM Sirius on Channel 216, I believe, and it'll be Saturdays at 12 noon Pacific time. It's usually Dan Patrick is on that channel. You'll be able to hear Fred Dreyer and yours truly, Michael Horn, at 12 noon on XM Sirius. I think Channel 216 will double-check that channel number for you here on the show. Now, welcome back here. So, Fred, let's talk about, we do some show prep. The lovely Courtney Kadar, our executive producer, researches this, and she's got the top 10 stories of the year for us to recap for you.
Right.
And number 10 is the fallout from the Russian doping scandal continuing. Despite sanctions on the country, 170 Russians allowed to compete in the Olympics. International athletes were outraged over their reinstatement of the Russia anti-doping policy. This is going to continue with the Olympics. I thought the Olympics should be rising above this kind of thing, and it's not happening. What are your thoughts?
Well, anytime you have a Russian involved,
it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. You know, they've got doping rules, and if you want to take your chance and do dope, and with the caveat of you might get caught, and if you get caught, you might be expelled. The team might be expelled. The country, you might be expelled. I mean, if I did anything, if I was a Ruski, and my country said, hey, look, you can do what you want to do, but if you get caught, and we get suspended as a country, or put on probation for 3 or 4 years, then we're going to hang you in Moscow.
Are they still referred to as Ruskies? Is that how we call them in the sports?
That's how I do it. That's how Sultan does it.
That's the Sultan of safeties, everybody. 2 safeties in one game in the same quarter. So that's a problem. That's it continues. So that kind of kicks off the list. Now, the freshman quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, comes off the bench to rally Alabama to overtime victory over Georgia.
What was his name?
That was the 5th national title for coach Nick Saban and his big game.
Wait a minute.
Is this going to be one of the big games for you?
Are you putting a French accent on the end of the Saban?
Yeah.
What, Tua Tagovailoa?
Tua Tagovailoa, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Tua Tagovailoa.
You threw me there.
I told you he's a tough name to say.
Yeah.
Now, what is the situation?
Well, you got to break it down. That's what you got to do.
Is this going to be? He's a freshman, and now at the time of that game, is Alabama going to do it against Oklahoma in the pre-sequel to everything? That's a big deal.
Well, this sport is certainly about talent, but it's about matchups. And the defense of Alabama is pretty stout, pretty good. And they're going to have their hands full with the offensive line of Oklahoma. My people who tell me about what's going on there with the talent level at Oklahoma on the offensive line says it's the best there is. So we'll see what happens. And of course, the quarterback for Oklahoma beat out Tagovailoa.
Is that the proper way? Tagovailoa?
Yeah, Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah, you got it there. That's good.
Tagovailoa. Well, anyway, they he got the Heisman and Tua didn't. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's probably about the best game of the 2 games.
Going to be great to see what goes on there. Now, golfing world, number 8 story, according to our research department, putting all this together for you. Number 8, Tiger Woods making a comeback, a big comeback, in less than 18 months after he had that spinal fusion surgery. That's a big deal. He had close calls at the British and the PGA, and then victory in the Tour Championship. Tiger Woods back, and that's got to be a big story. I mean, come on. I like the fact that he's.
It's great to have him healthy again, and the more that he suffered through his I guess you would call it sentence, since he got caught for his prostitution ring of girlfriends, and his wife suing him for divorce, and that whole thing exploding, and him getting hurt. All of that stuff seems to be over. And if he can pull himself together, which it looks like he has the ability to do that, then it's going to be a lot of fun for people. I watch him. I watched him when he and what's his name had that playoff not too long ago.
Bobby Riggs, I believe that was.
I think it was in the Superdome.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's good for golf, isn't it, that Tiger Woods is back? I think is a big deal. I like that fact that it's back, and might get people excited again a little bit about it, because the game of golf, goes up and down and goes to the ebb and the flow, and I think, a lot of us seniors, as we get up there on that circuit, it's good to go ahead and have Tiger Woods back. So that's good. Now, that's the 8th story. Number 7. Now here's my favorite. Really not my favorite, because I'm not a super Golden Knights fan, but I do love hockey, and I love the Los Angeles Kings. And the Las Vegas Golden Knights had a superb season last year, surging to the Stanley Cup final before they lost to Washington to the Caps. But that was a big deal, and there was an expansion squad, and they did some great picks, and they got there into the Stanley Cup Finals. What's that all about?
Well, there's an opportunity here for them to really help hockey crack loose here in the western part of the United States. To get people out of the gambling halls into the basketball, the football, and the hockey arenas is going to be a challenge, to say the least. But if you can bet on all these teams, which I know they were going crazy betting on these teams, then that would be another story in itself.
Yeah, and Oakland coming to Las Vegas. That's another big part of that story. Las Vegas getting some big wheels going.
Now, the word I heard is that the San Diego Stadium could be in the future here for the 2019 season for the Raiders.
Yeah, now this isn't part of the number 8. Number 8 story was the Golden Knights,
it just led me to
lead you into the fact that where's Oakland going to play? They've their lease is up in Oakland. Do they try to renegotiate some of there? Do they play in San Diego? Do they play where? And they put this whole thing together.
If it wasn't for the Oakland A's, they'd tear that place down.
They would, right?
That is a sinkhole.
You played there, huh?
I played there many times, and it's a sinkhole.
It really is that bad?
Yes.
What's the worst part of it from a player standpoint?
Well, there's no drainage in the field. You play football on a baseball field.
Yeah.
And then they want to sod the infield, and it never works. Especially you got city workers up there. You don't have the Kansas City group of people at Memorial Stadium up there, the old Memorial Stadium. Tending to the field where that place was pristine. You've got a city-run field. It never works.
City-run, not good. And what kind of do they have? Regular turf there or AstroTurf?
Well, they have regular.
That's what I thought.
And they should. And by the way, it's stadiums like the Oakland Alameda County Stadium that makes it very difficult not to put AstroTurf. It supports the AstroTurf, artificial turf surface conversation.
Yeah,
when they should not. If you take care of a grass field, that's what you want to do.
Straight ahead, we continue. We're here in the Sports Loungers. Truly, Michael Horn, the one and only Fred Dreyer. We'll be back coming at you right here from CRN Talk. Stay with us in the Sports Lounge.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to get to Colombo's. Colombo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Seekers of luscious and appetizing gustatorial pursuits, indulge your fancies with steaks so absolutely yum-yum. Vegetarians have forsaken kale and Pilates and never look back. Fish specialties so fresh and delicious and chosen by King Neptune himself, and relish Colombo's Italian family specialties so delectable you'll be yelling out, bravo, bravo! And let's not forget Colombo's world-famous meatballs, and you've got to try their breakfast pizza. Oh, and jazz every night. Service that's friendly, not phoning, and at a price that'll keep you coming back. That's Colombo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Colombo's, Manja.
Welcome back here to the Sports Loungers. Truly, Michael Horn, the one and only Fred Dreyer joins us here as we're here every week at this time. Thank you for having us on your radios, on your cable systems, on Alexa, on Google. You know, a lot of people got those gifts, the Amazon Echo and the Google Home. Say, hey, Alexa, play CRN1 on TuneIn Radio. You can listen to us anytime.
That's a good deal.
Hey, Google, play CRN1 on TuneIn Radio. You can hear the Sports Lounge anytime you want. There you have it. Now, we're counting down the top 10 stories of 2018, and we started out with the Russian doping scandal, went into the Alabama-Georgia game. We talked about Tiger Woods making a comeback. Las Vegas Golden Knights almost winning the Stanley Cup, going to the finals, losing to Washington.
We were rooting for him. Even I was rooting for him.
There you have it. Now we get to this number 6 big story, and this an inspiration here by the super fan nun that was out there, 98-year-old Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt. She loves tiny Loyola Chicago, and Loyola Chicago made a run to the Final Four. That was a big deal, wasn't it?
Well, anybody 98 years old shows up for a basketball game is
that's a big deal. Yeah,
that's a pretty good deal.
We should be so lucky at some point.
Well, we will. I mean,
next year we hope to be there.
Are you going to which game are you going to show up for?
I'll go to the Dodgers and see if they can win a World Series, but that's coming up on our list. We won't. I don't want to tip it, but yeah, I'll go to the World Series and see if the Dodgers can actually pull out a World Series win.
Well, you're going to have to sit someplace where you can fit oxygen.
Why?
Well, you're going to need oxygen.
You have to probably.
By the time you get to where you're going.
Really, I'll bring it with you. We can wheel it in.
Of course. I'll have it on I'll have it like Mike Nelson.
That's it. I was thinking the same thing.
A canister on my back, just like an aqualung.
For those of you kids who don't know, Mike Nelson was in a series. He was played by Lloyd Bridges. The character was Mike Nelson, and he was in Sea Hunt. And the biggest problem would be when some bad guy would rip an air tank or cut a hose off his partner.
Every single week. Every episode. He would voice over his own battles.
Then it happened. He'd go, then it happened.
He said, out of nowhere, out of the gloomy, dark sea. I was jumped.
Yeah.
Before I could even fight back, he cut my air supply, and the guy would just swim to the top and gasp for air. Every week that happened.
Buddy breathe. They would be able to blow this thing. They take one tank and they'd go between themselves slowly so you don't get the bends up to the surface.
They weren't that deep. They weren't like...
They were pretty deep.
They were like off Redondo Beach.
They were deep.
It was like you could jump off the pier. That's where they shot this stuff.
Anyway, we digress. We're counting down the top stories.
Well, we want to get it right.
2018. Okay, so let's jump into number 5. The big fifth story was, and you Red Sox Nation people still celebrating, the Boston Red Sox beat the Dodgers again. The Dodgers get into the World Series 2 years. Does that count for anything?
So they went back and looked at the film, and the Red Sox actually did win the series?
They did check it out.
Well, notify the Red Sox fans so they can stop celebrating.
They had the 18-inning game 3, and the Dodgers won that game, and everybody thought, well, this is going to help the Dodgers, and nope. The Red Sox come back and just wipe out like a steamroller over the Los Angeles Dodgers. And so the Dodgers, again, it's very, very good. They were in the World Series 2 years in a row, but can't win that big victory.
Now, I want to say something to you. We talked about this Dodger-Red trade here. We won't jump ahead on
that
this.
much, but you can touch on it.
But here's the situation.
Yeah.
The reason they put these players together, the reason they got rid of Puig and they got rid of Matt Kemp, the outfielders, they don't want to spend a bunch of time.
Cut the cash.
Well, yes, but they don't want to spend a bunch of time altering the lineup every game.
You're talking about platooning.
Platooning.
Oh, left end
if you can
righty.
cut down, they got too many people they have to play.
Yeah.
And that's what hurt them in this series.
Really? The platooning?
I think they had too many people playing. They figured, well, we got a bunch of good players here. We can't sit Matt Kemp. He's a veteran. We can't sit Puig. We got to get his arm in there, I guess. But what happened is that they were so busy trying to get the right matchups, and they forgot to put to allow the regularity of a good hitting lineup to help them win the series, and they didn't do it.
Dodgers lost both of those last two series due purely to pitching. Not good starting pitching, not good relief pitching.
Listen, you can't strike out with runners on second and third base. You just can't do it.
No,
and they did that the whole series.
They put that shift on. If they shift you over and they're putting everybody on the left side of the infield, hit it to the right side.
I'm going to bunt.
Yeah,
aren't you going to
bunt it, and get on base, get the runners going. Make them look foolish.
I'm going to come up. I'm going to embarrass them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bunt the ball down third base and laugh as I go around first base on my way to second. It'll take him a month to get to my batted ball.
That's correct, because they're all on the wrong side of the field.
That's right.
Take a break. That's how Fred Dreyer was a baseball player, one of the good strapping right-armed, threw some heat when he was in high school.
That's right.
Too bad he burnt the arm on how to do that football career.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You could have been in double sports. We'll be back in the Sports Lounge.
Looking for an intimate, romantic getaway? Escape to Maui's premier bed and breakfast, the Plantation Inn, a quiet oasis in the heart of Lahaina town. Guest rooms and suites offer Hawaiian plantation decor, combined with modern amenities, and surrounded a serene courtyard with a pool, jacuzzi, and lush tropical foliage. The inn is located just steps from Lahaina's historic Front Street for an easy stroll to museums, galleries, shops, and restaurants. Call 667-9225 or visit theplantationinn.com and plan your getaway now.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? pick up your phone and call Smart Fares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644.
The following ad contains shocking material. Listener discretion is advised. Is someone in your family playing a dangerous game of Russian roulette? Over 43,000 people die a year from drug overdose. 120 people a day. 5 people every hour. 1 person every 12 minutes. 88,000 people die every year from alcohol abuse. Over 240 people a day. 10 an hour. 1 person every 6 minutes. Somebody you know may be next. Learn how to help someone you love get away from the drugs, alcohol, and bad influences. With the FMLA, people can take a leave of absence from their job and still keep it.
Call Quit Drugs 321 now at 800-378-3315, 800-378-3315, 800-378-3315. That's 800-378-3315.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
We are back in the Sports Loungers. Truly Michael Horn along with the one and only Fred Driver.
You know what I really like? I like, as we're coming out of the break, ladies and gentlemen, I love it when my on-air partner, right before we get back on air and he puts his headset on, he looks over the top of the camera, iPod camera, and says, "Don't screw up."
That's what I tell him every time.
Every time. And I got to tell you, it's starting to have an effect on me.
Remember, I used to have to tell you, put your headphones on. You don't have to be. I don't have to tell you that anymore. You got that down.
And I used to put them on backwards.
Correct.
So
it's tough. Tough when you do a show like this.
Yeah,
it's like
really difficult.
Very hard to hear. All right, we're counting down the big stories of 2018. We talked about the Russian doping scandal, the Alabama-Georgia game, talked about Tiger Woods' comeback, the Golden Knights surging into the Stanley Cup Finals, losing to the Caps. We got the Loyola Chicago superfan nun, 98-year-old sister Jean Dolores Schmidt, big story. The Red Sox overcoming Game 3, that 18-inning
70
loss.
innings they got.
They played 75 innings and lost to the Dodgers, only to come back and wipe the Dodgers out like a steamroller.
And this was the third game, so they came back the next game, and it was like they never played Game 3.
That's correct. Well, actually, Game 3 was actually 2 games in 1 there. Maryland-Baltimore at number 4 here. Maryland-Baltimore County upsetting Virginia to become the first 16 seed to topple a number 1 seed in the history of the NCAA tournament. That was a big deal, Fred Dreyer.
You know, if you're dealing with mathematics, which is what sports is, this had to happen at some point in time, and it just happened to happen with Virginia and Maryland, Baltimore. So it's not that big a deal, actually.
Number 3, the Supreme Court strikes down the law prohibiting sports betting outside of Nevada, New Jersey, Mississippi, West Virginia. Some of the first states start taking wagers, and you got betting going crazy now.
And believe me, this is where you and I have an interesting conversation to be had with casinos and everything else.
It's really tough. $2 on Oakland, but thank you very much. Okay. All right. Number 2, Super Bowl. Okay. The Eagles, first Super Bowl title in Philadelphia. They win 41-33 over New England. That's kind of a big upset.
I didn't realize there was that many points scored.
It was, yeah. They capped exciting playoffs, salvaged their regular season. It's kind of like the even worse this year, Philadelphia. Who knows what will happen? But anyway, lackluster games, and all the Eagles come back and win that Super Bowl. That was an upset.
Well, again, New England lost that Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, they did.
Right.
And
Philadelphia did so much as
picked
win
New England, and we'll never hear the end of that one.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, if you're going mathematically, it's tough to bet on Brady in those games.
Yeah, it is tough. Who wants to come back again?
To not bet on him, I should say.
Yeah. Sports doctor Larry Nassar, number 1 story. That decades long, he's got a prison sentence now.
Isn't that Nassar?
Yes, Nassar. The dozens of female athletes detailing the abuse. This was a serious deal. Shakeups at Michigan State, the USA Gymnastics, U.S. Olympic Committee, everything. This was the number 1 story. This was huge. This thing was swept under the carpet. Now out in the open. Starts with that hashtag Me Too stuff. This was a really big deal. It's
well, I got to tell you
something. For some time.
If you're a parent and you're trusting another adult to be intimate, and they have to be intimate with these young kids to reach them and to inspire them, and this crap comes out of the wash like this, I think this Larry Nassar would be a best to just get on his motorcycle and head to the Arctic, because that's where he'd have to go to get away from me.
Yeah, exactly. And he's in prison now, so he's put into the big house for some time. Yeah. That's a big deal. That's the big story of the year. Unfortunately, a bad one.
Sports doctor Nassar. He's going to need a doctor in the jailhouse there,
It's pitiful. Bad way to end the year on that one, I'll tell you that. Now, speaking of bad ways to end the year, Monday Night Football... What's with the Broncos? I mean, they can't even beat the Raiders. So what's going on?
Well, here's the other
deal. What's the deal on this last Monday night game here?
We watched that game. We watched.
You and I did, yeah.
We did. We watched the Broncos cough it up in Oakland, and they cut away about 4 times to John Elway, CEO, president of the Broncos.
Some people want to get him fired. They want him out.
No. He has already got his replacements made. He's already going to fire that coach who's dreadful. There's no leadership. He's lost on the sidelines. You can see it. There's just idiotic offenses and a lackluster defense. He's gone, and they're going to have a whole new ship there in Denver.
Now, your thoughts on this, please get your thoughts into us. Email Fred Dreyer at crntalk.com, but you can also follow him on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer, Dryer, Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer, and definitely email him, Fred Dreyer at crnsports.com. And that'll do it. But you think these changes have to be made now? You think Elway's going to work? And
well, I mean, he knows what he's doing. But there's certain things. They need an offensive coordinator. They need leadership. John Elway knows what's missing. They hired the wrong guy, and that's probably on Elway. But that guy's been there for 2 years. He's dreadful. He has no input. He's dyspeptic. Right?
Dyspeptic is right.
Dyspeptic, and
I've got gum that's dyspeptic gum.
He has no ability to rally the troops, and he looks lost. There's nothing worse than a guy on the sideline getting beat, getting the tar pounded out of him, and looking like it. And this guy is not good. You got to get rid of him. And Elway, as I said, the cameras showed him about 3 or 4 times up there in the exact same pose. He didn't move for at least a half hour. He stayed in the same spot, contemplating. That's not that's the body language and the resolve of a man who's made up his mind.
Yeah. It's just the way that this season has ended for Denver. I mean, you look at them, there's a lot of chances they had to kind of come back into it. Not even a spark of life in these guys, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can't. I watched how I watch things differently than most people do. But that team is brain dead right now.
All right, so there you have it. We'll come back here. We'll be talking, doing some emails for you, but also we'll talk about that big blockbuster Dodger trade, which came out of the winter meetings, and kind of see where we're headed here with some changes in baseball. Because coming up in February, a little over a month away, we got the pitchers going to be showing up at spring training.
Pitchers and catchers. I think that's February 13th.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, hang on a sec.
You've been riding this thing all day, and my son would like a turn.
He seems a bit young for this twin-cylinder hog, doesn't he?
It's a coin-operated kiddie bike.
No, ma'am. It's a coin-operated freedom machine.
No, it's a kiddie bike.
It's hard to be without your bike, so do something easy and protect it with Progressive Motorcycle Insurance. With basic policies as low as $75 a year, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit Progressive.com to quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. Today's fluctuating interest rates can leave you with unexpected higher mortgage payments. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates so you can buy a home with certainty. It's called Rate Shield, and here's how it works. With Rate Shield, you can lock your interest rate while you shop for a new home. So if rates go up, you don't have to worry. And here's the best part. If rates go down, you get the lower rate. With Rate Shield, we really have you covered. Here are more reasons why you'll want to work with America's largest mortgage lender. For 8 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 5th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Rate Shield. Another way we can save you money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Based on Rocket Mortgage data in comparison to public data records. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
Indeed knows it's hard to find qualified candidates when you're hiring.
It's like finding a unicorn.
But when you post your job on Indeed, it's easy to find people with the skills you need.
Nurse practitioner, 4+ years experience, acute care certification.
Indeed has a huge pool of amazing candidates and screener tools that help you find your most qualified applicants.
Whoa, an entire short list of unicorns.
See why more than 3 million companies worldwide use Indeed to hire. Post your job at Indeed.com/hire. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Source ComScore total visits.
Meanwhile, back in the sports lounge, yours truly, Michael Horn, Fred Dreyer. We call him Sultan, the Sultan of Safeties. That's him. 2 safeties in 1 game in the same quarter. The all-pro defensive end, the acting legend. We haven't even touched on the fact this man starred in Hunter. He was in Land's End.
Yes,
so many great Crisis. I can go through him. Agent X. Now he's got the movie Bumblebee out. This man keeps rolling on. He was just in NCIS. People coming to my home Christmas Day saying, "Did you see Fred in NCIS?" Yeah, I saw Fred in NCIS. That was, by the way, one of the better performances, because you know, we think of you as a good guy from Hunter, and it was a whole different turn. Well, somebody better watch that NCIS. If they haven't seen it, they'll see a different side of this man right here. This guy, Fred Dreyer, is the guy you want to keep an eye on right here. I'll tell you that right now.
Not too close.
Right here. That's the guy. Now, let's talk about this blockbuster trade that the Dodgers had with the Reds. Here's the deal. Andrew Friedman, he's had a lot of success with the Dodgers, putting some teams together. So he sends pitcher Alex Wood, very popular outfielders, Yasiel Puig and Matt Kemp, to the Cincinnati Reds. The Dodgers apparently take on this contract, a bloated contract, this right-hander who struggled, Homer Bailey from the Reds. They say he might be released. I don't know if that's going to be the case.
He's going to be released. They got him to do the Reds a favor to take that burden off, so he wouldn't have to pay him.
The guy went 1 for 14 with the Reds. He had a 6.25 ERA and 46 starts over the past 4 years. The guy, what kind of a guy? He won one game in 4 years?
Yeah, and they gave him a huge contract.
Where was he before?
And he was drunk half the time.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's the case, but I do know that.
Well, I don't either. But I mean,
well, you're mentioning
that performance fits in that category.
Performance? What are you calling a performance? One game, one win in 4 years. Anyway.
Well, he pitched. How many games did he start in 4 years? A lot.
Yes, a lot. 46 starts.
Yeah. Well,
he went 1 in 14.
After the first start, they gave him 45 more.
At least he got 15 decisions. Too bad there was only one win there. Now, they acquired the Dodgers. Got a couple of pretty good prospects and middle infielders, Jeter Downs, and any baseball player named
Hugh
Jeter.
Downs. That's Hugh Downs' son.
For you old timers, if you want. Go way back when you look at the Today Show.
Believe me, you'll see the likeness. You'll see the likeness. They both throw to second base the same way.
Jeter, I was thinking of as a good baseball name. Okay, so anyway, they got Jeter Downs, and they got right-hander Hosea Gray, and they got the catcher. Dodgers give up. Here's the guy I don't like. They gave up Kyle Farmer. The Dodgers need catching. Maybe they're going to try to get some.
He's not. He's been in the organization long enough for them to know all about him.
Well,
that's why he was sent to Cincinnati.
$7 million the Dodgers also give to the Reds, and now the Dodgers they're still talking about pursuing Bryce Harper. He can get off that whole thing.
I want them to go out and get.
Who?
I always say this. AJ Pollock.
Yeah.
I always think that AJ Pollock would be a great fit if he stays healthy. Because
what about a catcher?
Well, I hope they get Realmuto. From out of Miami.
Yeah.
That's who I hope they get.
Dodgers need a catcher. They need strength up the middle.
They don't need Josh, what's his name?
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah, here's the thing. The Dodgers spent some money and re-signed Clayton Kershaw. A lot of people saying maybe Kershaw's day is gone, whatever. Here's the deal. Kershaw... A little bit. He's a great pitcher, but a little bit of a head case in that he has to have the proper guy. He always had A.J. Ellis, who might still be available, I understand, to catch for him. He had to have his own catcher. Here's the deal. You get a good catcher. What you don't realize in baseball is strength up the middle. The catcher sees it all, calls the game, knows the pitchers, knows what to do. He can kind of command that. That's why you see a lot of catchers becoming managers.
Sounds like he knows too much.
A lot of catchers become great managers, and then you got to have a good center fielder. So the Dodgers, if they get a key player like a catcher, that could win it all for them.
So catching's not enough? He wants to manage now?
Well, I'm just saying he calls the game. He sees the infielder. He's kind of like the king behind the plate.
Well, if you were staring at the infield from behind the plate, you'd see everything too.
Well, of course, but you got to call a good game and know your pitchers. You know how the catchers sometimes take the pitch and they pull it into the strike zone to kind of fool the umps.
I love it when they just get the right hitter with the bases loaded and they go hey batter, hey batter, hey batter, hey batter, swing batter.
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, all they do is the good ones do.
The good ones do. Is that the way you used to play?
The good ones do, They give him the okie doke. If Kershaw's on the mound, he's befuddled by Kershaw's left-handed curveballs, and then the guy behind the plate. Hey, batter, swing!
So that was what A.J. Ellis did to help Clayton Kershaw.
That's the key to that position.
I gotcha. That doesn't annoy the umpire behind the plate?
Not at all. He just turns around and he says, hey, listen, that's what I'm doing. He goes, hey, have at it.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts on this. Any other blockbuster deals you see coming up, anything we should be looking for in baseball here?
I think that the hint is that they're going to take some of this money and they're going to spend it. They're going to make a run on a limited contract with Bryce Harper to play a right field.
I hope not.
And that's probably a 4 to 5 year contract at about $35 million a year. I don't think they should do it. I think they should go after A.J. Pollock and they should go after Realmuto.
I tend to agree with you here. And Puig, here's the deal though. The Puig and Matt Kemp and what's his face, the pitcher Alex Wood, they're all up for free agency at the end of this year.
Exactly.
So I agree with this trade because they're going to probably lose those guys, some of them, to free agency.
This isn't an accident. These guys are out of here because they didn't want to have to pay them and they didn't want to have to deal with the bodies on the bench. How'd you like to have all these guys come in and go, how come I'm not playing in this doubleheader?
Hey, Turner Ward was hired by the Reds as their batting coach, so that means Puig is going to like this trade. His guy, Turner Ward.
I don't care if Puig likes it or not. He's
going to have a good year with Cincinnati.
He's with that crazy woman.
Hi, everybody. Michael Horn from CRNTalk.com. You know, we provide you with the best in talk radio. 8 channels of talk radio, from radio on the left, radio on the right, sports talk, business talk, religious talk, Spanish talk, you name it, we've got talk radio for you. All at CRNTalk.com. Well, now we'll bring you video as well as audio. That's right. Watch your favorite shows like The Robert Conrad Show, The Fred Dreyer Program, What's Cooking Today, What's Cooking on Wine, The Lounge, and so many other shows in video right at our website, crntalk.com. You can also watch us on Roku. Just search CRN Talk, and you can watch us on Roku on any TV anywhere in the world. Also on Facebook Live. Go to facebook.com/CRN Digital Talk. Facebook.com/CRN Digital Talk. Roku, search CRN Talk. Check us out on Tiki Live and at crntalk.com. Video for you talk fans, all from CRN Talk.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the art of the masters. An Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical room of the moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. We are back in the Sports Lounge. Yours truly, Michael Horn, the star of our show, the one and only Fred Dreyer.
Thank you.
Gentleman right here.
Thank you.
Don't forget, we're on video for you. We do this show for you. Check it out on YouTube. Check it out on Tiki Live. Check it out on Facebook Live. And also at crntalk.com.
Well, you know what? Speaking of being on camera.
Yeah, you've known
you could use a little makeup.
Well, you know, my problem is this. The lighting is always perfect on you, but you see every one of these lights is pointed at you and not one on moi. So next week, unless we get a light pointed on me, that's it. I have to use my cell phone to illuminate myself.
Here's what you should do.
What should I do, Fred?
Why don't you bring one of those highway lamps
I'm going to do
they
it.
sell on TV
Trouble light.
late at night and put it right here.
I'm doing it.
Right here, like right under your chin.
Yep.
And you'll get plenty of light.
One of my great gifts this year, Bob Henry got me one of those better umbrellas, the ones that turn inside out. And, you get into your car and you open the thing, and then you go like this, and it keeps all the water inside. And then if there's somebody you don't like who's riding with you, say, "Hey, hold my umbrella," and you dump it in their lap. It's great. Now, get back to this Dodger trade for one more second. The reason this deal worked, my behind-the-scenes look at this is the Reds pulled the trigger on this. They were probably going, okay, wait a second here. I don't know. The Reds got some good players here. Now, you look at Alex Wood. He was 25-10 with a 3.20 ERA, 314 innings in the past 2 years with the Dodgers. That's a good pitcher. Keep him, Reds. He's good. Now, but you got to get a good pitching coach to bring him around. Turner Ward, that was helping Yasiel Puig become a great hitter. I didn't realize the Dodgers got rid of him, and he signed with Cincinnati. You're saying there was an illness with his lovely wife?
His wife, I believe, was ill, and she's in Ohio.
Yeah, so we lose Turner Ward.
And so Turner just said, hey, could you get me a job, or could you release me?
Puig is out just like that. He's gone, and he's going to go with Turner Ward. You got Matt Kemp, who, if he works out again like he did in the offseason, came back and just lit the Dodgers up in the first half, slowed down a little in the second, but I was happy he got into the World Series. He at least played in the World Series.
I'm not so thrilled for that.
Really?
No.
I like Kemp.
But, you know, his nickname at the halfway mark after the All-Star.
By the way, excuse me 1 second. You don't have your headphones on. I just thought I'd let you know. Just in case anybody's watching.
Yeah, put them on. I need them.
Okay. So anyway, you're saying halfway you were going to talk about Matt Kemp.
It was like the movie Invaders from Mars, where the guy needed a revolver to shoot his way out of the caves.
That's it.
What was I saying?
Kemp.
But Kemp was known as Cheeseburger Matt halfway through the season.
Well, you said that he was eating a lot of cheeseburgers.
That's what I said.
You get all this. You get all this background info.
Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm on the airwaves is because I have secret info. I have information that not a lot of people have.
I don't know where
and what I don't have, I make up.
I don't have it, but he gets the secret info.
I get the info.
Somehow you just pick up on it.
I get
he was
in
eating
there.
Cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburger
Matt.
That
slowed him down.
The Cheeseburger Matt, and believe me, there was a lot of eyes in the locker room as he was trying to squeeze into that uniform halfway through the season.
Come on.
He
was. By the way, he got in great shape. As did Max Muncy. They worked out together prior to the season. Max Muncy and Kemp worked out before they started the season this last year, and they both tore into the league very well.
The cheese sauce.
Yeah,
they both tore into that.
Muncy continued with it. He's still on the squad.
Well, you know how many hamburger places and Chinese places there are over there near Dodger Stadium?
There's a lot.
There's a ton of them.
You think if we talk nicely and speak nicely to Dave Roberts, he'll hire one of us as a coach? We could help him out with our philosophy.
Well, he should hire me, definitely.
You definitely, I think.
Not
so.
as a coach, but as
a consultant,
as a mental road consultant.
And you should all be consultants for Fred Dreyer. All you got to do is follow him on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer. He loves to hear from you. Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer. And for gosh sakes, email him, FredDreyer@CRNTalk.com, and go see the movie Bumblebee. It's a killer. It's good.
Yeah, that's a good idea.